So chances are this is your first video with me. So right now, if you don't have them on, put on your headphones, please. You're going to need them. This first section that we're going to work on for the next, 8 or 10 days is a review of stuff you should have learned last year. So it's kind of a quick review to get us all on the same page and ready to go. So first thing we're going to talk about is integers and absolute value. In your book, that's Chapter 1, Section 4. First term that we have is opposite number. And you want to grab your vocab packet out if you haven't already, obviously. That's numbers that are the same distance from 0 on the number line, but in opposite directions. So if I had a nice number line like this, and we certainly have 0, which doesn't always have to be in the middle of a number line, but we're going to put it there for our purposes today. And numbers that would be opposites might be numbers like -3 and +3. They're both 3 spaces from 0. So if we made a list of those, it's pretty easy to make that list. You could say -3 and +3 are opposites. You could say 2 and -2 are opposites. You could say -100 and +100 are opposite numbers. And again, I want to stress the point that we're looking at being 3 spaces. In this example down here, same space. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Next up we have absolute value, and absolute value is the distance a number is from 0 on the number line. So again, the distance a number is from 0 on the number line. If you need to pause me at any point to write that down, feel free to do so. Any point along the way, if you ever have to stop, ask questions, whatever. The symbol's kind of fun. It's just 2 vertical lines next to each other with something written in the middle. For instance, if I wanted to the absolute value of 4, in other words, how far is 4 from 0 on the number line, it would look like this. By the way, the answer to that is 4. Likewise, if I said, what is the absolute value of -4? Well, that is, so I'd write it like that. And again, that means, what is the absolute value of -4? Well, how far is -4 from 0 on the number line? If I had a number line here, like here, 0, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, there's -4, so it's 4 spaces. So the answer to that is also 4. As long as the negative's on the inside of these, that's how we come out with a positive. Now I did something weird like stick a negative on the outside. That's where it starts getting a little bit different. Integers, you've learned these before. These are positive and negative whole numbers. The symbol for that is a capital Z. And these ones you know. So they go on forever and ever. So it could be, and I'm kind of use an example that's sort of overarching, right? So if I started with, going on forever, I'm going to put dots, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, that counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, forever and ever. So you get the idea. So -365 is an integer. 210 is an integer. Now that does not, you can't have decimals. You can't have like 4.2. You can't have fractions like 1/2. So these are not considered integers. However, you could have, if I had 10 halves, because technically that's the number 5 in disguise. That would make 10 halves an integer. You could have something like -6/3, because it's really the number -2 in disguise, which is an integer.